In an earlier video, we looked at creating a pivot table based on a data model, and we talked about the advantages of creating a pivot table based on a data model. I want to create another pivot table based on a data model and just go a little bit further than we did in the last one. The last one was a nice introductory one. I'm just going to insert a new sheet. So I hit my little button down here, and then I'm going to go Insert Pivot Table from Data Model, and simply go OK to putting it in this sheet in the cell A1. I now want to grab some fields. I want to start by opening up by clicking the chevron in front of Financials. And from the Financials, I'd like to add Country to my rows and Product to my rows. And now I'll collect the Financials. And so here you see the country and you see the products. Now, I'd like to add some of my key order measures to my value. I'm going to add, for starters, total units sold. Then I'm going to add total gross sales, total costs of goods sold, and total profit. And in fact, I want to add total profit twice. So I drag it again into the values bucket and I get total profit 2, showing in here and showing in here. But total profit 2, I want to change that to a percentage. So I click on total profit 2 and I go into value field settings. Show values as by default is set to no calculation. I'm going to change that to percentage of the grand total. And I want to give it a custom name, which is simply the % symbol above the 5 on your keyboard. And I'll click OK. And it's going to change both of them. That's unusual. I'm going to go undo. Let me add total profit a third time. Go into its value field settings, change no calculation to percentage of grand total, and give it the name percentage, and OK. That seems to have done it for the first one. I'm now going to remove this, drag it out. I'm now going to rename this just total profit and maybe a full stop, and OK. So it was starting to get a little bit confused, and so basically that's how we can work around it. Now I also want to influence the look of this pivot table, and anything that's to do with the look of a pivot table is not under Pivot Table Analyze in the ribbon, it's under the Design tab to the right of Pivot Table Analyze. The first thing I want to look at is subtotals. And if I go to subtotals, I have the option of saying I don't want to show subtotals, or I want to show them at the bottom of each group, and there they are there. Canada's total, France's total. Or maybe I want to show them at the top of the group, so I can move them to the top. But I'm going to move them back to the bottom of the group. The other thing I want to do is I want to insert a blank row between each country. So this is my blank rows button, and I can insert a blank line after each item. And that just creates a little bit better segmentation between each country. Now when it comes to styles, I've got a gallery of styles, light, medium and dark, and I can roll over them to see what they look like. I'm going to go for light blue, and in fact I'm going to go for light blue 9. That's 16, and that one there is 9. So I click on that option, and it's just formatted my pivot table for me. This particular sheet, I just want to give it the name, so I double click, Financial Summary. And so we've created another pivot table based on our data model, and we just made it a little bit more interesting with a few extra options.